Hi, today we're going to do a video for the Epson F170 using the new version of Affinity Designer version 2.0. So the first thing we're going to do is create a board, and this is what your board is. So we're going to go to File, New, and you have a selection of boards that you can create on. I'm going to do a letter size since the F170 does letter and they also do legal. So let's start with letter. Excuse me. And we're going to start with layout. It's going to be the 8.5 by 11. It's going to be in inches and preferred embedded. Next we're going to color. And this is very important because these are the colors you're creating with, not printing with. So your color format is going to be the RGB/8, and the color profile is going to be sRGB IEC 61966-2.1. You'll see there are various ones. This is what you want to use. And make sure you're only using the RGB 8. Now, you also have the choice of a transparent background or a white. This is white. I like to play in transparent so I can see if there's any smudges or anything on the document. But it's your choice. You can do as you wish. Next is margins. They've already created a 1-inch margin, which I don't want. So I have to make sure each time I take it off so I have a clean slate here. You can leave it on if you want that 1-inch margin, but I choose not to. For bleed, we have everything at 0, and for scale, we do nothing. So now we're going to create our board, and we're going to hit create. Now, let's say you didn't want it in landscape. Let me go back. I'm going to go to Document Setup, and you can click Portrait and enter the page. So you can do that and just change it. I'm going to cancel because I want it this way. My graphic is portrait. I'm sorry, my graphic is landscape. Alright, so next we're going to bring in a graphic or whatever you've saved or something you bought from Etsy. It'll take any format. So we're going to go to File and Place. Not Open and not New. Place. I'm going to click that. I'm going to go to my directory of all my documents, graphics, and there's one I want to play with. One that I like. And let me see if I can find it, and here it is. Okay, now you're going to see this like arrow. So you're going to press your left mouse button down and press and size it. And as you can see around this box, if you go over here, the width and the height is there. So if you push it down, and you can see the black box here where it says width 9.824 and height 7.368. So as you're moving it, you can see. You can do a full page or whatever. Now let's say you have, which I get a lot of questions about, we're using the letter size paper and you want to do a tumbler. So you're going to pick the letter size paper, but your image has to be the size of what you're creating. So let's say it's 9.8. So we're going to go here for the width, which is going to be 8. And the height, it's going to be 9. going to do it. Actually, it's going to be the opposite. 9.8. Okay, so, or you get the drift. If it's 9.25, which I think some of you have, just change it. 9.25 by 8. I'm just making it up. And hit enter. Or you can adjust it. But that's how you do it using 8.5 by 11, and then the size you need your paper to be your graphic. So that's what that's going to do. Next, some of the new features that I think are cool is adding a name or a font or text. This is your text tool. It has artistic and frame. We want to do the artistic tool. I'm going to click on that. Make sure you're on your artboard. And I'm going to type welcome. I know you can't see it, nor can I. Let me make this smaller, so you're going to go back to your move tool. I'm just going to move this and make it smaller, because a lot of you ask about fonts or text. So here you have it. Now, when you double click, you highlight it. You're going to go up here. This is where all your fonts are. And as you click, you can see you can change them to anything you want. And what I think is neat is, let me pick a weird one. No. All right, let's pick this one. So I'm going to click it and go back to this move tool so you can move it around. Move this down so you can see. Now, let's say you don't like the color. Double click. Go over here. That's your color picker tool. You're going to click that, and you see you have this like star. And let's pick this color, if you can see that. And there that goes. You can pick that color. I like that color, so we're going to keep it with that. When you're done with that, you go back to your move tool, keep it highlighted, and there's a thing called Quick Fix over here under color. There's layers, brushes, and Quick Fix. And what I like about this is I can play with my text. So if I want to bevel it, now you'll see it's a little beveled, and you're going to see that get bigger. And this adjusts the opacity. You can see it changing. I just like it like that. If you want an outline, that gives it an outline. Let me move down, and you'll see in a minute how you get that outline. Or you can have it like that. You can do anything you want with it. I think it's neat. And then also there's a 3D option, which is really cool. You can see that. Let's see how it makes it 3D. You can check one or the other, doesn't matter. If you take it down, you won't see the 3D. I don't think I want it beveled anymore, but now you can see that. So again, you can play with the fonts. It's really cool. You can change the color also by going here. You don't need the picker. The outline, you'll see the black outline. If you take this off, that's what you'll get. It's really cool. And there's other features here. Inner glow, color overlay, gradient. All right, now let's get to the good stuff. So we're going to go back to here. Let me make this smaller. And the other thing is, let's say you want to add another graphic. here. So you're going to go to File and Place again. Pick your other graphic. Let's see what I should pick. Alright, let's pick this. Again, you're going to use your left mouse button, press it down, and now you see why I keep it transparent. I can see exactly, because sometimes they come with the white border and I can't see where it's going. So you can add this, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. There's other things you can do, which is another video. You just have to subscribe to my videos. That's Princess 57. I'm on YouTube. So just look for that. Alright, now it's time to print. So you're going to go to File, Print, and we're going to pick, first thing we're going to do is pick our printer. As you see, I have several. Next thing you're going to do is Properties. We're using 8.5 by 11. If you're using legal, you'll pick that. But the 8.5 by 11 has to match your artboard, what you're printing, what you're setting your graphics on. Under paper type, these are the ICC profiles that Affinity Designer uses. So it comes with two, the textile and the rigid, whatever. I do not ever use this after finding out that my colors are just blah with it. It's, whether you're using tumblers or a hard substrate, always use textile for everything. You will thank me later. Your quality is either standard or high. You're going to use high. I do print preview to see what it's going to look like and where it's sitting on the paper. Next, more options. Again, you're back to here. Make sure everything matches with the letter. Same as document. Mirror image. Make sure you do not have bidirectional printing on. You'll get those marks or those lines. That means it's going real quick back and forth on when it's printing. Don't do that. Do not have automatic. You want custom. So what you're going to do is you're going to again go to Advanced. You are using Affinity Designer. That manages your color. So you don't want the printer to. So mark it no color adjustment. And this is very important because if you have ICM here and then on Affinity, your colors are going to be drastic. So remember, you don't want the printer choosing your colors. Hit OK. And maintenance we don't need. So we're done with that. You're going to hit OK. And now we're going to go down here. I have fit to printable. All sheets, automatic. You see how it's now changed because all the correct document sizes are in. Again, it's letter. You can see the other sizes, 8.5 by 11. Rasterization, always 300 dpi. Bleed and marks, nothing. Color management, another important one. These are the important ones. Remember, we created our document with sRGB. You want to make sure you have that. That was how we created. Our color handling is always going to be by the app, which is Affinity. Our printer profile is, again, has to match the textile. So we're going to go look for it. And this is textile. That's your ICC profile. Rendering intent. You will see 4. The best one for vector graphics is going to be relative color metric. If you're using face tones or you have people's faces, natural skin tones, you want to use the perceptual. Otherwise, make sure you use relative color metric. We're not printing the file. Everything seems to be fine here. Your orientation, everything's perfect. So what we're going to do is once we hit OK, it will print. I'm not going to print it, so I'm going to hit cancel. But actually, if I do print, I think it will show me a preview, hopefully, and not print. Let's see if it does. Okay, that's another thing I want to discuss. When you hit print preview, you are not going to get these colors. Don't worry, don't freak out. This is not how it's going to print. And naturally, when you do print, you won't get the exact colors until you press it. When your ink, your sublimation ink, hits heat from the heat press, it goes into the fibers and creates the color. So that's what'll happen. So don't worry about these colors. So I'm going to hit cancel, and that should do it. And if you have any questions, just get me on Facebook, Helen Coleman. Thank you.